Are you ever just out exploring and you find like an epic place to build a base? Or at least way better than the current place you're settled in? Maybe not me, but somebody. Somebody could build an epic factory down here. There is a decent possibility in the future I will move from here to up here. Maybe. That's a problem I've always found with base building. If you build your starter base in a really cool area, a really cool area starts to look like trash. Especially in progression. Progression-based packs where you're not sure the theme or the style or have decent building blocks to get started. Just cobblestone everywhere. Chaos. Somebody told me these signs actually point to villages. 300 blocks that way and 900 blocks the other way. That's on my west. The 900 blocks that way. That's north, so west would be the shorter one. That's definitely a fact. I think what initially drew me to this area was the, what is that? Is the hills. Are you telling me there's this massive structure on the back of here I never seen before? I guess I have to erase off my resume. Strong attention to details. Don't need a ladder. But I do hear a monster screaming at me. Oh, weird. I've got to say, I would never expect... to find this down here. Very interesting. Do I care about frozen cores? There's a nice aerial view of the base. A whole bunch of stuff you can't see on the backside, so we'll take a peek. I was thinking about it. I'm still thinking about it, but I can't make that jump. I'll just take fall damage the whole way down. The Iron Nugget Farm. So this design was copied from Rocket 14, I believe. I'll try to put a link. Remember to put a link in the description, but anybody who's looked at create videos on YouTube will know this Rocket Man, Rocket 14. Because he makes a lot of good stuff. I tried to make a design myself before looking at anything else, and it worked, but it was not good, so I watched his video, destroyed what I made, and then kind of rebuilt what he showed me. So, like I said, still learning create. The power thing is what kind of I'm indecisive on. Like what's the best way to do things? Do you make a bunch of windmills or water wheels? I always call those by the wrong name. Make a bunch of them, or do you make these little encased fans with the magma blocks with the redstone to turn things? I got a lot of drive sources around. I don't know if it's all necessary. These are kind of cool. This encased chain drive. It takes the power transfer vertically, but then it like twists it in this direction, which is kind of interesting. And of course I should upgrade this, I just haven't bothered to put a storage upgrade in. And I don't think I have access to better funnels, so as far as I know I can't filter these better, but always looking for suggestions. There's not much to say about this thing. It's maxed out. I don't even use the kelp anymore. Toast and Rice Factory. That way. Just kidding. That way. A lot of this stuff is going to get torn down because these are fragmented systems and I want them all tied together. They're just me kind of learning how to use Create. And I plan to have, or I did plan to have, a massive factory here. This is just kind of a learning area, I suppose. But maybe it's going to end up at the mushroom biome and it won't even be here. We'll see. A lot of this stuff happened on stream and also happened on off camera. But I didn't really progress too far. It might seem like it, going from episode 1 to episode 2 here. But really the main thing I did was I made a bunch of farms. Then I made a bunch of these straw golems, which I highly recommend because you can grow wheat and you can grow pumpkins and you make a pile of these golems. They seem to last for like 8,000 days or something crazy. Yeah, they'll just slowly pick stuff up and take it places. I don't really have any control of where they take stuff. It's kind of annoying. Like, they throw berries there. I did have a hopper and a chest, whoops, here, where I was trying to put trading berries in the trading station. They would just put them there. Chaos, right? But I highly recommend that. Because if we look at the remote trading thing that I was talking about in episode 1, I didn't really know how it works, but I got a pretty good idea now. I bought the farming profession, and I believe you can buy multiple of these cards. And what you actually do is you stick these cards in these trading stations, and it allows you to sell stuff. So I'm selling berries to get coins. And you can get into multiple professions. I've only really looked into farming. I might get into other ones, but for right now, we click on this. 8 berries, 1 coin is a pretty good deal. Like if you look at some of these, like bread for that's a raw deal because you gotta do a lot of crafting. You gotta do a lot of crafting to get that bread. So recently, this system hasn't been running very well, or very long, I should say. But I got a windmill bearing down there, and just a couple harvesters. I got the chest, this portable interface, pumping berries into here. What I want to do is actually have like these mine carts you see over there delivering the wood. This tree farm that I actually have turned off. It's like the exact same build as that, basically. Windmills spinning around very slowly, cutting down trees with the mechanical saw. It's just off right now. Works very good. One thing I forgot to mention, probably because you can't see it, is this tree farm design is based off of a YouTube video I saw that I'll try to link from rageplaysgame. He built a nice compact one that kind of behaves the same as this one. So I should credit him too. None of this create stuff's my design. Except for this monstrosity. This is all me. But yeah, I want to have minecarts delivering oak to, furnace systems or something, so I can start powering these trading stations. And then if I can start selling many berries plus other resources, but for me berries I think is the best, I can start buying stuff. And like right now I'm buying silica, importing it rather. If we look at the market, these are all things you can buy. I just bought a shulker pack for, I think it was 55 coins. Shulker box, whatever you call those things. You can buy E02 stuff, it looks like, for the presses. And then just stuff for decorating, which in the very beginning, be careful with your coins. Definitely recommend buying a trading station first. I bought other stuff first and it was a waste of money. And then I had to run around and find these ruins with those urns like in Zelda and break them. And then eventually I got enough silver coins back that I could buy this trading station with the farming profession, sell my berries, get more coins, and then start buying various things. One of the things I really wanted at the start, but I found out you could not mine, was redstone. So I had to buy a redstone card. And then cured rubber is just annoying to make, so I bought one of those. And then gold. And then andesite alloys. And what's really kind of neat about this system, I really like this mechanic actually, is you can buy infinite amount of these trading stations and you get a way to power it. This is pretty cheap, all things considering, and it's repeatable, so you just keep doing it, right? But you look here, the initial cost of buying a gold ingot importing card is 10 coins. But to actually get 8 ingots out of it, you have to give it 48 silver, so that's pretty expensive. Things like this andesite alloy are pretty good. Alright, more minecarts. I got the minecart loader. and the minecart unloader. I'm planning on using this to automate all that, so this will probably all get torn down later. But real quick, here's the goal here. Minecart loader and unloader. Very cheap to make. The silica steel might be expensive to make, I don't know, but to buy it, 16 coins, 8 of those. So that's extremely cheap for me because berries seem like a great way to get coins. But anyways, there's all kinds of buttons here. I haven't exactly figured out what customization I'm going to want here. Customization, rather, or what configuration. Maybe that's a better word. But leaving one item in the loader slot, I think makes sense, just so one item is always there. It acts as a filter, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Output, cart contents, active, output during inactivity. I'll have to play with these, but I think initially when you place it down, it looks like that. Output to comparator, but I don't really want a comparator. If I put it to here, what it does is, I think when it's ready, it actually outputs, and then this will turn on, this powered locking rail, and then it just sends the cart. And then here's the unloading station. I can make like a loop or something. I don't know how many carts, but it's same thing. If this unloader is set to leave one in the minecart slot, it would actually act as a filter. So I could have one minecart hauling various, like I could have logs here, I could have saplings here and sticks here. And as long as the loader's always left one of each type in, it would only pull what it could. I think is what I want to do. But we got wood in there, so if we kick this over, it's kind of just moving stuff around chaotically. But we'll fine tune it later. So as well as burning the logs or even the sticks to make for fuel, I think I am going to be pulling them and running them through this saw. And if we look at slabs, because slabs are what is used, whoops, we look at slabs, you cut an oak plank, get slabs, and if you cut a strip log, you get the planks, and then those come from the log. That's why I have 3 of these saws. And it's really important, I found out, they even tell you in the quest book, but to filter slabs on this last saw, these first 2 don't require filters. If we look at block cutting, it will make random little pieces of furniture from XQ's decos. I cannot talk. XK's deco. Or it can do that. And I was trying to figure out for the longest time, what's the difference between create block cutting and create sawing? It's just putting a filter on it. As you can see, there's some furniture and some tables there. Another interesting thing, you've got your conveyor belt going this way, which is fine, right? Because again, we got the magma, the fan, turning this shaft with the encased chains. And that's what's turning the belt this way. But what did I have to do here? So that's going counterclockwise. But look at the shaft rotation here. It's actually going, from my perspective, clockwise. So even though the belt's going this way, apparently you want the saw blades going this way, which makes sense. Like in real life, if you had a saw blade going that way, it would just, as soon as it caught the wood, it would just chuck it. For this actually makes sense that it's cutting into it. But yet, they got to be the opposite direction, which is, I think a gearbox changes direction. So with the gearbox here, it flips the rotation, and then this can carry it out that way. And I took the power through, rotational power to power this belt. And then I also tried to power these deployers here, but it didn't like that. The system was overstressed or something. Again, I'm a newbie. But I just slapped down a windmill here. If I slap you there and you there, I'll have to figure out how to automate those. Plus the little saw. This is not an unbreakable saw right now. For 5 stacks of silver, which is what 5 gold coins cost, and a diamond saw, which I already have that made. I haven't used it yet. I'll get this unbreakable thing. That's what's probably going to go in this arm. So yeah, these slabs from this system have to go here. And this will just slap down an andesite alloy, then saw it. to make these things, which is awesome. Huge victory. So a really cool early game tip that somebody when I was streaming told me is if you hold shift with the mechanical saw and right click, place it while holding shift, it places the blade that way. And if you throw on a hand crank, you actually can chop a whole tree down. So it's really quick to run around with the right tools and just start mowing down trees. And I found you can do 2x2 trees, but you have to, there's 4 logs, right? I suppose instead of just talking about it, I could show it. It's really quite cool, but also annoying how the whole tree falls like that, like it actually would. Wow, the return on the saplings for that was pretty pathetic.